Hey everyone, Jason here in the shop again. Tony has sent me more 3D printed parts. This is Tony Oldham from Why Not 3D Creations. A lot of these parts he and I are kind of collaborating on to make your life a little easier in the reload shop. Yes, we're also working on some prototype stuff for drilling presses as well, so we might be asking some questions to some of you Dylan guys about various things in the days ahead, so you can benefit from this technology as well. There's a lot of files out there for different things on the Dylan press, the primer shoot, and even the tool heads, the whole tool head. Can you believe that? They machine that out of heavy duty plastic. I mean, this stuff's tough enough for that job. It'll do it. Trust me. Some of this stuff is very, very robust. Anyway, what did he send me? Well, we're all familiar with the plastic hoppers on our Hornady hoppers here. I have one mounted on my rock chucker here, and I've also got one on the AP Progressive over there. We know that some hotter powders and the solvents in those powders tend to fog these and even melt them sometimes. And that's a problem. So I find that probably Alliant Bullseye is one of the hottest powders, and you certainly don't want to leave Bullseye in this hopper for any length of time overnight or anything, because it will melt it. It'll char it. It'll make it brown and black. Not good. I don't put Bullseye in my hoppers at all, and I use a lot of Hodgdon powder. I do use Unique in here. Unique doesn't seem to give any problems, but I don't leave my powder in my hoppers, overnight or over the weekend or for any length of time. When I'm done loading, I take the powder out and I wipe it out, with some 409 and a paper towel, you know what I mean, and clean them up. And they just don't get crappy on me. But I do like Bullseye. I like to load with it. I just use a different powder measure. That being said, I asked Tony to see if he can make us, a hopper and see what he can come up with. And he has, and here we go. But what I want you to understand about making things with a 3D printer is the inside of something that's really heavy duty. Like, here's one of the caps that he made me. Like this part that's really thick in here. That's honeycombed inside there to save material and also make it stronger. So it might appear solid, but it's not. It's honeycombed in there. And as we know, from the aerospace industry, honeycomb type material is extremely rigid and robust. You could actually stand on this. You're not going to break it. It's just so tough. So and this hopper here has the honeycombing going on inside there, and that makes it pretty thick. It's a good 3/16 of an inch thick, so it kind of reduces the internal volume a little bit on this one. Probably a little. I could stand on this. Ain't gonna break it. A little too robust for our purposes on this part. So he made me another one that's just of the outer filament, kind of like fishing line, all coiled up into a tube, and it's still very robust. And he's even taken the time to include an interior baffle, so we don't need to mess around with the baffle because he's put an interior one in there already. See there? And because this material has ridges on it from the filament, it kind of corresponds to the ridges in the hopper already. So when you put this guy in here, you kind of got to turn it, and when it's in there, it kind of screws itself in, and it is tight. Man, if this was on the Hornady AP press, you could use the hopper to undo the lock and load bushing and hold on to it right here, even when it's full of powder, and not worry about that coming out of there, because it's just not going to. And you can see the baffle, the integral baffle in there, so you don't need to mess around getting this thing in there, right? It's never going to go anywhere. It's bolted in there. How cool is that? And your traditional black lid is still going to function. No, it's not transparent. It is translucent, so you can still tell whether or not it's full. That's not going to be a problem. It's not transparent. I don't know how well it's going to react with the gunpowders. That's still, we're still doing some testing on that. But I think it's a pretty cool idea. It's a thought. It's certainly a way to, have a standby or one that you can use for hotter powders. Even if it does fog it a little bit, at least you're not fogging up your good factory ones. Some guys don't care. I do. I don't like that. So on to other things. I wanted to show you some of the funnels that Tony has made for us. So we'll pop this one back out and put in the factory goodie here. And it didn't wobble too bad. This particular one is better than the one on my lock and load. This one stays put pretty good. Now everybody's seen the funnel that he makes, right? This is an awesome product. And he's just got the measurements for the Dillon hoppers, and he's making these in blue for the Dillon presses now too. Pretty cool. It's still got the handle here where you can hang them up. But I asked him, let's make a cap to go in here, right? So we can just leave them on. Why not, right? So actually the handle then kind of becomes moot because now he ran out of red to do this prototype stuff. So he made one for me with the clear. But it just fits right in there. And it's got a little hook. Kind of looks like a finger. That's what it's supposed to look like. And it just fits right in there, stays there. And now you put that on your powder measure and you just leave it there. You need access? Can you guys see that? Yeah. You need access? You just pop that little cap off of there, dump your powder in, put the cap back. Even if you forget to take the cap off and you pour a little powder in there from a shell or something, you can still reach and grab the little finger and just kind of go like that and it'll all fall in there. How about that? Pretty cool. Okay, we're not done. There is another funnel design with a little larger opening. That one's got kind of a smaller opening. I don't know what difference this is going to make, but I don't even know if there's going to be a difference in price on these. There might be, I don't know. But this funnel here is a little different design. It's a little thinner, and it actually goes on the inside of the tube, as opposed to being on the outside. And the opening's a little bigger, so it requires a bigger finger plug. Look at the size of that one. And it fits in there great. Seals that baby right up. And it can give you the finger, well, anyway. I'm just being silly. But anyways, it's kind of cool. You just grab this little finger and pull it out, and you can hear how well it seals. It kind of, look at that, like a champagne bottle. And not that I know anything about that. But anyways, yeah. I like it. It's kind of neat. You see the finger sticking out of there. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But it works, you know. It's an effective thing. You don't have to cup your hand around that. And, you know, sometimes these things weren't the easiest to get on and off. They kind of, you know, the sides like to collapse on them when you're trying to put them on. And, you know, this just makes everything so much easier. You just pop the finger out and put the plug back in and you're rolling, you know. That is so friggin' awesome. I love that. Okay, I've got some other things to talk about over here. Notice on these devices that come with your press, the primer. Sorry about the mess here. I'm just kind of playing today. See how they're kind of cross-hatched on the bottom? That's the weak part. That's why they break. The ones Tony makes, these red ones, they are solid. They don't have that cross-hatch stuff going on. They're solid. And they work. They function great. Shuttle works great. They are strong. They are not going to break at all. And he's also going to make the ones with the slot on the back, so it provides another breakaway point. So it'll break away there and there. And the beauty about that too is you never have to take this off to put the rod back in. It just clips right in the back because of a slot there. So he's going to be making those too. And that's pretty awesome like that. Here's a slick device that I kind of like. I call it kind of a wrench. They call it a stop. You got a little lanyard loop there, so you hang it on something, put a you know, bathtub chain on there or something. And essentially what this does is it allows you to lock up your press. You can use it as kind of a keyway or a wrench. The two little grooves right there go into the little 2 grooves right there, and it's solid. And ultimately, you can't operate the press, and the press won't turn because it's held up against the side of the press. So you can use it to tighten your shell plate down. Makes for a nice little wrench, and it also locks up the press. So it ain't gonna, you got kids around and you don't want them messing with the press. You just put this bad boy in there and the press can't be raised. You can't use it. It's just locked up tighter than a drum. And I like that. That's a pretty awesome little tool. And genius. Thick. Heavy duty. But again, it's likely honeycombed inside there. See the honeycombing? You probably can't, I can't hold it up to the light and show you at the same time, but it is got a honeycomb going on inside there. And that's what makes it so strong. Kind of neat. I like it. And look what else he sent me. This is awesome. These are magazine racks that he has and sells. And they just hold the magazines like this. See there? You can get a couple of those. There's a place, you gotta drill them out for 2 screws so you can screw them into a stud on your wall, and it'll support a couple magazines for you. How about that? And you mount those right next to this fella right here. Yeah, buddy. What is that? That is your AR-15 mag mount, where you can just hang your AR right on the wall. You can use it on your bench too. Screw it down, then you don't need a vice block. How about that? Very versatile. He gave me a couple of those to try out. And we got these. I'm going to bring my AR down here and do a separate video on that stuff so you can all see how it works, along with these hinge point devices for, you know, cleaning your bore. It allows the AR to stay open at an angle, because you put this on the rear takedown, fasten it to the rear takedown on the upper and the lower, and it holds the upper at an angle, you know, pivoting on the forward takedown point. And it gives you a little bit more clearance than this popular one made out of phenolic plastic. This one doesn't give you a lot of angle to let the solvents run down. These give you a little bit more. So, like that. So, going to be talking to Tony some more on some other stuff moving forward. And we're just kind of having fun here, getting things figured out to enjoy the process. I don't know if he's got green filament. I'll talk to him, and maybe we can make these funnels for the RCBS powder measurers too. I know some of you guys have those out there too, and well, he does have green. Like, these are green, so maybe we can, you know, these are green, so maybe we can make the green funnels for the RCBS powder measurer as well, for those of you that have those. Probably not going to be as popular as the Hornady and the Dillon, but you know, we're an equal opportunity press group here, so I want to make sure everybody's included in the process. Anyways, what do you think of the finger funnel? That stuff's neat, ain't it? Isn't that cool? Like that. And the hopper with the intricately designed baffle. One that you can afford to get dirty, and it just doesn't matter. This Jason in the shop. Tony and I are just trying to think outside the box a little bit. So, you know, he can make a little money and we can benefit from the technology. You don't have to buy a bunch of printers because he's already got them. So we'll see you later. This is Jason in the shop. Have a good one.